Hey everyone. All right. So this one, we're still doing soundtracks. This is music from the motion picture Bulletproof. Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. You would think that I have seen this movie, especially being a kid that grew up in the 90s, right? Well, I grew up as a teenager in the 90s. Hell no, I have never seen this movie. And the main reason I've never seen this movie is actually Adam Sandler. I absolutely love Damon Wayans, and I will watch everything with his. Even his cheesy family show that he had there. I used to watch. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Comments down below. What was the name of the cheesy family show that Wayans had with the really sexy looking chick that was on Martin? She was okay, but when she got to the show with Damon Wayans, she was just smoking. Name of the show. And if you want to tell me the actress's name too, I can't remember. All right, not the point. We've already got off the rails here on this one. Okay, if you notice I keep looking at the sides, I got a video it's about to finish and I got to hit stop on it. Okay. So, I have never seen this movie. It's a hip-hop soundtrack. If you're one of my regular viewers, you already know I'm not a huge fan of hip-hop, rap, whatnot. This album, though, allows me to point out a few things, both about hip-hop, my feelings towards hip-hop, especially hip-hop in this time period. All right, let's get this. So there are 12 songs on this album. There's about 6 that made me look up and go, what the hell song am I on? So I know what song I'm on because it made me actually pay half-ass attention. First one, Champagne, Salt and Pepper. Now this made me pay attention just purely because it was Salt and Pepper. And I looked at it was Salt and Pepper first. And I'm like, whoa, it's the only name on here I actually knew was Salt and Pepper. I actually 100% can say, like, I know this band, Push it. Push it. Okay, this was nowhere near that cool. This was really just kind of like, the most interesting thing about this particular song was the guitar riff in the background. I could hear faintly in there being sampled over and over was... crap. It's one of the songs the Chili Peppers have covered over the years, and I can't remember it. It's not Higher Ground. And it's not the Chili Peppers version. I just recognize the guitar riff. I believe that was the one it was. Anyways, this was a throwaway song for me. I was disappointed. Then the song Plant a Seed, which is Mr. Cheeks and Freaky Ta, bracket Lost Boys. This was the first song that made me went, yeah, this is why this crap was so disposable, because these lyrics were horrible. And this has always been my issue with rap and hip hop. I have always found rap and hip hop to be what I would call a disposable music. And not all of it's disposable. There are a lot of rap artists, who have lasted and have had longevity, okay? We're not talking smack about, the old school guys that are still going and stuff like that. And I'm talking, the NWA guys that are still going from time to time and stuff like that too. I'm glad that I don't think Cube has released an album in a long time. But you know what I'm trying to get at here? Some of it meant to last. A lot of it was just throw out trash, That goes with the next one. The Two of Us, DTTX of Later Shade of Brown, featuring Christopher Williams. I think there were a lot of people that were sampling this in hip hop. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. You and I. That particular one. Okay. So I think there were a lot of people that were sampling that at one point, because I know that this is what that was obviously using. But it's not a song. I don't recall this one. I do recall a different one later on that used it, or maybe it was in a different time period. Maybe it was before this one. I don't know. There was another hip-hoppy song. I remember using it that definitely stands out better than this one did. Until the Day, performed by Nonchalant. Okay, so this allows me to say something I want to say. Rappers used to be a hell of a lot smarter than they are now, I think. I mean, you would never, first off, nonchalant and it's spelled correctly. Not some fancy, stupid spelling of it. Not some pretentious, ooh, I want to be cute and give my kid a different spelling kind of spelling of it. No ghetto bougie spelling of it. No, properly spelled out nonchalant and uses the word properly during the song. This, like, what happened? What happened over the course of how many years was this? I can't see that. Just, as for the song itself, it was okay. Until the Day. That wasn't a bad tune. I didn't mind listening to it. How Could You, Casey and JoJo of Jodeci? Or Jodeci? Or I don't know. How Could You? That one wasn't bad. I actually didn't mind that. That was a little bit slower. So this was actually kind of nice because it kind of changed the tempo a little bit on the album. This album, that's a major problem we get to later on. I Want to Know Your Name, Tasha. That one was okay-ish. Where Are You? Rasan Peterson, I actually liked that one. That one I actually looked up and went, hey, that's actually okay. That's a pretty decent tune. I don't mind that at all. 9, Chocolate, Cuties, and Condoms by Sidal, featuring Dina Howard. Okay, this one confuses me. And this, I need, if you are someone that is a black person, I would like you to please, in the comments down below, politely, I need answers on this one. But only black people, okay? Okay, so if I were to turn around and call a chick a gorgeous, beautiful piece of dark chocolate, okay? Aside from the misandry involved in that, or sorry, not the misandry, sorry. Aside from the misogyny involved in that, I spend too much time yelling at feminists for being misandrous. Okay, aside from the misogyny involved in that, the sexist bullshit, blah, 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 okay. This song is all a chick calling a dude a nice piece of chocolate, all right? Literally. That's cool. And I don't know, maybe it's a white chick, maybe it's not a white chick, I don't know. That seems to be cool, but if I do it, it's wrong and it's racist. And I'm not sure if I understand that one because it can't be like the N-word, okay? Like, who doesn't like chocolate? I love chocolate. And when I sit there and say I love dark chocolate, I mean, I actually do love, edible, dark chocolate. And I will, this is going to get in a whole weird thing. So for me to say someone's skin looks like dark chocolate, to me, that's something I very much enjoy and very much like. So if someone's skin looks like that, that's pretty fucking awesome to me. So that's to me, that would be a compliment. But so I need to explain why I need someone to explain to me very politely why it's racist when I mean it completely in the most. I'm not saying me personally. I'm just saying me in this case. So if somebody who is white says it, why it's such a racist thing. Okay, moving on from that one. I also do not want a race war started down there. We're not getting into this. This is a legitimate question, okay, folks? Like legitimate, genuine question. All right. Because it's something that to me is a genuine, legitimate compliment. It's like, I've had other ones over the years too, which I don't understand and I've brought up, but I don't want to get into that on this one. This could be a discussion for another time. Okay. The Show by Rex and Effects. Now, I actually recognize the name Rex and Effects as well, and I don't remember why or what song they released that I should remember, but the Show is not the song that I remember. By the time I got to this track, most of the drumming on almost every track is the that little bouncy four on the floor. I love playing the drum beat myself, but when almost every track on here is using that as the backbeat at the exact same tempo, not adjusted in the slightest. Now, I will admit that on this particular song, the bass use on it was really good. I did like the bass playing on it. And on the next track, which uses the exact same drumming, with a bell put on top of it, which is Trade Delinquents, and it's the rock mix, and it's got some really cool sounding rock guitar on it. Delinquent Habits is who performs it. The two songs have the exact same drumming on it. One has really cool bass, one has really cool guitar, and neither have a combo of the two. But this is what most of the album's like. And it's even the same tempo, and it really kind of makes me, by the end, want to dig my ears out. Like, I was really having a hard time finishing the album at this point. And then the album finishes with Reverend Black Grape, the Crystal Method edit, which is performed by Black Grape. This was more of an EDM techno-y kind of thing, like really electronic, no hip-hop, no rapping really going on. I really digged it compared to everything else on the album, with the exception of How Could You, Casey and JoJo of Jodeci. Those two were the two most standout different tracks on the album. A lot of the other stuff really kind of blended and sounded the same. Really boring, generic kind of stuff. And I'm actually surprised that I managed to get this review to run as long as I did talking about it. I know I threw in a lot of filler crap, but this is not an album I will ever listen to again. I found it very blah. Very, very blah. And I don't have an extensive hip-hop background at all, but I used to run a poetry night, all right, at a bar. 2 bars. It was called Juice Open Mic Poetry. Ran it for a while, a couple years. And when we were at one of the two venues, there was a band, and me and my buddy would get up, or not a band, there was musical equipment. Me and my buddy would get up to play, and we were often trying to get the hip hop guys to come up and do stuff like that was on here, and I would do the basic backbeats and stuff like that. And we had a hard time getting them to do that, but they would freestyle all the time with no backbeats whatsoever, which was really cool to pay attention to and watch. So I got to spend a lot of time in an environment that would have inspired or, would have reflected kind of stuff like this. And that stuff was fun and enjoyable and cool and stuff like that. This is just crap. I'm not a fan. Anyways, my views, my opinions. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm being too hard on this album. Drop me a line below. Tell me why I'm being too hard on this album. What do you think of the movie? Should I actually take the time to watch the movie? I don't know. It's Adam Sandler. I don't like Adam Sandler movies usually. If it's a serious movie, it's pretty good. If it's a joke movie, I'm usually not a fan. Anyways, on your way down to the comments for the various things that I brought up in this review. If you get the like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications, I'd really appreciate it. Please and thank you. There's also a couple links worth checking out. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care.